Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Marathon. If you're just tuning in, I am Big Chuck, old Mr. One Size Fits All. So glad to have you with me this morning. And as part of our community forum that we do once in a while, we like to bring in some outside guests from let you know what's going on in your own backyard. Lisa Wisely joins me this morning. She is from the Greater Western Catskill Tourism Group. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I'm glad to have you in here. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're a busy woman.
Oh, well, yeah, we got a lot going on in Delaware County.
That is for sure. Beautiful Delaware County, and we're going to find out about. First, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Big Ice Harvest Festival coming up at Hanford Mills. What a great spot that is, of course.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
And this is a fantastic event that we've talked about ever since they first had it. And give us all the details on what people can find coming up this weekend.
Well, it's this Saturday. It starts at 10 o'clock. I believe it goes until 4 p.m. It's basically a day of celebrating the way that we used to harvest ice before we had refrigeration. So it's a variety of different activities using old tools, old methods, and people can participate and actually get on the ice or get near the ice, depending on what the weather wants to give us this time, and go out there and sort of, do exactly what we did historically, which was use the tools and get the ice out of there and bring it to the ice house and basically go through every step as a fun activity.
And the kids love this.
The kids love it. Everyone's involved. I was talking to somebody recently and they said that, their family goes 3 generations of folks go and they just have a really good time because everyone can participate, and, people who are not that eager to be in the cold can, go indoors, and there's lots of things happening in there. And then there's a lot of other activities, ice sculpture contests and sleigh rides and everything like that.
Yeah, it's an awesome event. There's no question about it. It's 10 to 4 coming up on Saturday, and it's great because you learn and you have fun all at once out there. And of course, ice was absolutely a key component in life as they knew it back in the old days at Hanford Mills Museum out in East Meredith, and they bring it all to life with the sawdust, the sawmill, the grist mill, everybody. And like you said, Lisa, they one thing that's always nice about this festival is they always kind of fill it up with all kinds of things to see and do. There's ice carvings by SUNY Delhi's Hospitality Center. They'll be over there. That's actually an ice carving team, if you can imagine that. Trout Out Unlimited. There'll be food, so we invite people to come on out.
I know 808 Catering will be there with their food truck. I know there's going to be a variety of soups. There'll be tons of food. So I think anyone who just wants to come because they're hungry, it's a good place to go.
Yeah, it is a fun day. A lot of people look forward to it. It's one of the big days out at Hanford Mills, which is one of our favorite places for sure. And all the details on the event can be found at our website at cnynews.com. And now Lisa Wisely joins me this morning from the Greater Western Catskills Tourism Center. And Lisa, I'm jealous of you. What a great job.
Wow.
What a great job you have to go out and shout it to the world about what a wonderful area we live in.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about the Western Catskills. Is this Delaware County only?
Well, that's the region we cover. So
Yeah.
basically, I am hired under the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce as the official tourism promotion agency, TPA, by the state of New York. So they basically designate the Board of Supervisors in Delaware County designated the Delaware County Chamber as the organization that's going to promote tourism.
Okay.
And so I'm hired. I'm a contract person because we have a very limited budget and we like to use it for our advertising purposes. I'm part-time, I guess. And part of what I get to do, though, is definitely go out there and tell people about what's going on and sort of try to keep everyone organized and, working together, which we're very lucky in our county that we have such great properties that can work together. And then we have neighbors like you guys who are eager to, we want to have you guys come and we want to come here a lot.
Well, I'm born in Delaware County. I love Delaware County, and we have lots of listeners, of course, too, in our Delaware County radio station in Walton. So when you say I go out and I talk about the event, where do you go out? Do you go to local organizations or do you go outside of the area to tell people to come on in? Or
Well,
what? Give us a little bit of a look at your day, a typical day, which is probably not typical.
Well, a lot of my day is spent dealing with requests from press people. So trying to figure out how to connect people who are interested in coming to the region with what they're looking for, or looking for them to tell them about it. So I spent a lot of time sort of organizing folks who are interested in saying, hey, I want to come and I want to look at only at spas, or I want to come and I only want to look at mom and pop, B&Bs. So we figure out that and arrange all those trips, which is actually a lot of logistics.
Now, who would be on the phone? Would that be a person saying, hey, I'm a visitor, or a group coming in, a tour group, or outside of, I mean, is it an individual calling you?
Well, if it's a press person, it's typically a writer, or it's I Love New York will connect, because they get a lot of press requests going to their PR company, and then they sort of say, hey, we think this would be a good fit for you, and then I have to figure out what the property is or what the event is that looks like that. I also oversee the GreatWesternCatskills.com website, which is our primary, that's how we talk to tourists. I also do a lot of email and a lot of promotions. We're actually running a promotion right now to win a winter weekend in Roxbury, New York. So that is a 2-night stay at the Roxbury Motel.
Have you been there?
Yes, it's awesome.
It's awesome, isn't it?
I know a lot of people in the region probably have never been because they probably don't think it's for them, but every room is different, and there's just such great hospitality there. So it's like if you need
they spend a lot of money making those theme rooms, and it shows because it's beautiful. Yeah.
And they're so much fun, and they really take care of their guests. I just saw they helped somebody arrange a proposal over the weekend at their new Stratton Falls space, which they're going to be renovating and bringing out, I think, in 2017. I don't know the time frame.
Is there a typical, when you pick up the phone and, hello, Greater Western Catskills Tourism, how may I help you? Are you ready for a typical call? Skiing, I would imagine. Outdoor activities, I would imagine. What else are some of the top 5 or 10 things that people are inquiring about as far as the Western Catskills?
So it's interesting. I just had this conversation yesterday with some folks who have been doing some research, and research is hard. You want to know who wants to come here. What are they looking for? We are definitely skewing a little bit younger. We're looking at the millennials, people, the most people looking at our websites for visitthecatskills.com, which is the regional site. That's the 4 counties of the Catskills. They are definitely in the 25 to 34 range, and they're looking for outdoor adventure, but they don't necessarily think of outdoor adventure the way typical would, like camping, boating, fishing. Outdoor adventure to them is the agritourism. They want to come to farms and participate. They want to come and pet the cow that they're going to get the cheese from.
Do you have a lot to offer that, caller?
We do. You do. I feel like Delaware County, that's what separates us, I think, in a lot of ways from the other regions in the Catskills, Ulster County, Sullivan County, and Greene, is that we really can connect a farmer to someone who's coming to visit and have like a great farm, to table experience. They can definitely, they can go over to Betty Acres Farm in Delhi and actually like touch the cow that they're going to go buy cheese and get.
That's it's a cool thing to do, but like we all do that. But if you come from the Bronx, it's got to be pretty cool to touch a cow.
Yeah, we think, I remember going to the Dairy Festival in Meredith when it was still happening, and we're actually bringing the Dairy Festival back this year.
We've had a lot of people ask us here, whatever happened to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my first things, I spoke to Ray Pucci, who's the president of the chamber. I was like, every friend of mine who ever came up to visit me always loved that Dairy Festival. Yeah. And it's so sad it wasn't there. And I was like, can we bring it back? And he was like, yes, we can.
Good.
So we're actually working on that. We're going to probably have our first meeting next week to talk about how to do that. So that would be June. But yeah, I remember just watching friends of mine who actually grew up in the Bronx, and they're like, I can just go touch that alpaca. And I'm like, yes, and they've gone to zoos and they've gone to all things, but it's really different when you're on the farm or you're in, the presence of the people who like raise these animals in that way. So.
Do we have, if somebody's calling, because I think a lot of people paint upstate with a big brush and wineries, so they want to know that. Is that pretty much all in the Finger Lakes, or are we able to touch a little bit of base with that?
Yeah, we do not, it's funny because most of we have a lot of press people who are looking for wineries because it's a very popular topic, and also just breweries.
Yeah.
And so Delaware County is not necessarily, hot on those. Our grapes are just different, we just don't do that. But we are and we are growing is definitely cideries and distilleries. So Union Grove Distillery is in Arkville. They're not open yet to the public, but they're going to be definitely producing vodka. I believe it's already been produced. I had a small taste. And
Really?
it's amazing. And they're going to have a tasting room. So it's right on 28 in Arkville, right where you'd make that turn to go to Roxbury.
Yes.
And they have a great space. It's gorgeous. We had a little event there recently, and they'll be opening very soon. They're just waiting for like the official seal from the state, I guess, to start selling. But it's a really great space, and they're so excited. They can't wait. They're like, we just want people to come. We also have amazing cider. I mean, we have Awestruck Cider, who just moved from Walton to Sydney.
I saw this down in the industrial park down in Sydney. I saw this,
So they were in Walton making stuff, doing great, but they had no space, and so they were going to leave the area. And the Economic Development and IDA, I believe, worked really hard to keep them in Delaware County, so they went to Sydney. And they just had an event this Saturday, like an open house, and I couldn't make it, but I heard it was awesome.
That's great. That's my hometown, Sydney. So really? I was very happy to see that news. Yeah.
And then we have Wayside Cider, who's in Delhi. They're really an exceptional cider. They're basically, finding fruit, harvesting and making it, and just these, it almost tastes like wine. It's so fantastic. We also have a bunch of stuff going on that way, and I feel like it's growing. One of the things that's been great about the state is they've really done a lot of work. I think gosh, I lost his name, Schumer, and the governor have been so excited about sort of opening up the laws to make it more, to make it easier for businesses like that to open. So I think that they have a lot of flexibility, and it's really, I know there's some amazing places in Cooperstown, like that Main Street.
Oh, the beverage trail, sure.
Fantastic. So I think it's starting to take hold in Delaware County as well.
The one thing that I like about the region that you are able to be a spokesperson of is it really is truly a four-season area. Some places are just winter, some places are just boating around a lake, but the Delaware County Western Catskill area really hammers it for all four seasons. That's pretty unique, I think.
Yeah, I know. It's really, we've been a little challenged this season because of the snow, and part of what I've been doing is trying to convince people that even though you might not see snow on the street or on the roads, even up here, that the mountains were actually making snow. So like Plattekill and Bel Air got a late start, but I've heard that this year has been some great skiing for people who are, regulars. They're like loving it. And I think that at least in, Plattekill, they have a variety of different things. You can do the snowboard, you can do the skiing, and you can also do the tubing. But I think it's definitely, there is, as you say, it is a four-season thing. We have this great winter. The fishing, I think, is phenomenal, and I think fishing is, and I don't know the rules of fishing. I should probably know all the dates for all this stuff, but I know it's a spring and a fall thing. So, it is one of those places that just has it all. I think I was trying to put together a video for spring, and I was like, well, spring really is our walking and sort of regrowth period, as far as visitors coming up here. Yeah,
and we have such great routes that come through here, whether it be the Delhi to Andes, Margaretville, Fleischmann, Arkville. That is a wonderful route to take. I mean, there are many times, and the other way too, Stamford and Grand Gorge and that area. But my wife and I sometimes on the afternoon, we have nothing to do in the summer, we'll head on over, have our coffee and our bagel in Delhi. Go on over to maybe an auction out somewhere along the line, have lunch out on the front porch at the Andes Hotel, do a little antiquing down in Margaretville, work our way over to the Round Barn, catch the farmer's market over there, hit Stamford and come home. And we actually took some people on that trip recently, and they said, we've never done it. We've lived here all of our life. We never have heard of the Round Barn farmer's market.
Yeah.
In
it's on the way to Roxbury.
Halkettsville, I think. Halkettsville, if you haven't seen that, it's just awesome.
Yeah,
it's just awesome.
Phenomenal. I think there's so much to offer, and a lot of it is almost these hidden gems that you have to either befriend a local or really pay attention to all the things that are happening. It's also, I think one of our challenges that we do things so often seasonally and weekend based, so there doesn't seem like a consistency. Like you might think of, I have a day I want to go travel, and it might have been a weekend after the farmers markets all closed. So you're like, I forget about that until the next season.
Yeah.
So
And there's some great places to eat. And
Oh my gosh.
where's the one? I haven't been to it yet. It's like a little tiny secret place. Is it in Bovina?
Well,
On
there's
Main Street in
so there's
Bovina?
Brushland Eating House, which
Something
is
got mentioned in the New York Times or something.
yes,
Yeah.
we are part of our agricultural sort of bounty in our region is we are just having an amazing success with restaurants just popping up, and it's it's so much work to have a restaurant. I'm sure you know, but I feel like every time I turn around, there's a new place. I'm like, yay! So Brushland Eating House is in Bovina, and it is adorable. And they really do, get the produce from the farms down the street. We also have, Table on 10 in Bloomville is doing
That's
great.
what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
That's
they have tons of, they get a lot of press because their experience there is amazing. It's just like everyone who works there is nice. Everyone who all the food is great. It is coming right from the farms. We have
many of them came from top restaurants in the city and came up here.
Yeah, there is such a movement right now of bringing our produce from Delaware County and our meats and all that and our cheeses down to the city and connecting to chefs who are now getting excited and being like, well, I want to go see what's going on up there.
Yeah.
And so, we have a restaurateur who lives in Bovina who has 2 restaurants in Brooklyn, and just that it's kind of like the constant back and forth
Sure.
of Lucky Dog Hub, just getting food back and forth. And I think
That's
that's
great.
having restaurant people come up here.
That's great. Is there, other than this weekend, is there something that we should keep our eye on coming up as far what's the number one event people ask for? I'm going to guess it would be a Delaware County Fair because
Yeah.
that gets 100,000 people over there.
Yeah, Delaware County Fair is always very popular.
Yeah.
We're going to be working with them on doing some promotions this year. They are hoping to land a huge act, which we're hoping to.
They're always huge.
They're always huge. This one I think is like
Oh,
I can't
you just
say
let a
because
little
I don't
cat
know.
out of the bag
but
here.
rumor has it
Rumor
it's going to
has
be
it.
really big. So we're hoping to do like a win a pass and meet and greet kind of thing with them. I think the big events. We are lucky. We have these huge events. We have the Taste of the Catskills in October. We have.
Boy, that's grown too
That
over
has
the
grown
years.
so much, yeah. Then we have all these little events too. We're going back to the food. So these little things are just.
We love the area. There's no question about it. You've got a great job. You do a good job on it.
Thank
you
you.
so much for stopping by here, and we'll have you come by a couple of times and keep us up to speed. What's going on in our own backyard here in beautiful Delaware County and the Western Catskills. Lisa Wisely is her name, and it's Greater Western Catskills Tourism. Something certainly that we all love for sure. Good morning, everybody. I am Big Chuck. Stay with me, gang. I'll be right back.